Hey, what's up everybody? This is Crystal Digital Rim, and in this video we're going to show you how we use the Cricut Maker to design our custom shirts. So with that being said, we're just going to hop right into it. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go to Cricut.com, and you want to hit the apps and go to download Cricut Design Space. Go ahead and hit that agree to terms and conditions and then download. And it'll download to your machine. And once it downloads to your machine, we're simply just going to open the actual programs. So you can open file here or however you get to open your file. So boom. It's going to load, installing. And once it installs, it'll pop up something similar to this. Now you might have to create your own new sign-in for yourself. We already have a sign-in, so we won't have to create a new sign-in. But again, you want to create one for yourself. So you just go here and log in with your sign-in. So you can use your email address or create an email address or however, you know how to sign in. You should know how to sign in, right? So we're just going to sign in as ourselves. And when you sign in, it allows you to save all of your settings and your files. So you definitely want to have a sign in. So now when you get to this screen, you want to select your machine. We have a Cricut Explore family. So this is the Air product. So we're just going to click that one, and it's going to say how to prepare your workspace. So you can see you need at least 10 inches behind your Cricut. You need to have find an outlet so you can plug it in, of course. You need to connect it to your computer, so there is a cord that you can connect to your USB, and that'll allow you to, upload your files or start your files, right? So activate. Once you activate it, it'll have this check mark. Go ahead and click next. We're gonna go ahead and skip this for now, so we'll go maybe later. And you can see it has some test cuts here that you can set up for yourself. And I suggest you can do a test cut. Just take your blade out and just make sure your computer's working, but we'll skip it for now. All right, so this is how the main interface looks for this software, right? So you can see you have your projects up here, you have your type of machine and everything. So we're gonna go to my projects. You see I have a project here, one of the Dream Bigger designs. So you can see when you click into it, I can pretty much create right away. So you see down at the bottom it says make it, you can create that right away. We'll close this out because we're gonna start one from scratch. So you can go up here, hit new. And then new, you'll see this grid layout, and that's pretty much just like a ruler. It's gonna show you the sizes that will be on your Cricut. So you can have some options here: the template, the projects, the shapes, the images, the text, the phrases, the upload, and that's what we're going to use right now. So we're going to upload an image, and we're going to cover some of these settings later on in the video, so stay tuned. So you can upload a JPEG, GIF, PNG, BMP, and you can do an image or a pattern. We usually do images, and we're just going to drag and drop one of the images from our file, so a PNG of one of our designs, and you see it drops in like this. We're going to choose simple because it's simply just a white graphic, white vector graphic. So we're going to do simple, and it's going to do a simple cut. Again, you can get into more complex stuff where you have multiple colors, but we're just going to keep it real simple, especially for this video. So once you do that, now you can see a little preview of the cut, but we're going to hit apply and continue. Well, before we do that, let's do the crop. So I'm gonna crop this out because you can see there's a little area around the actual graphic that I really don't want. So you have all of these different options here that you can, for your design, but we don't need to do that because everything is vector already and it's kind of already laid out, but we're gonna crop this. So once you select crop, you just click and drag and it'll crop it to where you want. Once you release, apply and continue, and you see it crops just like that. All right, so you can see where it says untitled, that's the project name. But we don't want to worry about that right now. You go ahead and hit apply, and you can see now you can rename the project. So we're going to rename this image, at least. We're going to rename this God Got Me, right? And this design is going to be just a simple cut. So we're going to cut some vinyl, and we just want the vinyl to be cut just like this. So again, very, very simple project. So we're going to cut image. And that's the one we want to select. You can do a print image, print then cut. So if you do have a graphic that you want to print out, you can do that then cut it. But we're just going to do a cut straight to vinyl, right? Now you can see we have this in our projects. So this is now part of my projects. All right, so once we add it to canvas now, you can see it goes onto that grid line. And once you click and drag on the little handles on the corners, these little boxes, we call them handles, but these little boxes on the corner, you can click and drag and move them up to 0, 0. And that'll, for now, 0, 0. I'm gonna show you where you really need to place them in a second, but I'm just wanna show you how to scale this and kind of the interface here. So you can scale it just like this, where you can drag the handles to where about you wanna be. And you can see on the right side, it says 12.121 inches. That's how pretty much the size you want to think of as far as how big on your shirt it will be. So we're going to get it closer to 12, and you can do it like this. I'm going to show you something real quick, because see how hard it is to get it to exactly be 12. There's a lot easier way to do this, right? A super lot easier way to do this, but I just want to show you how to scale things interactively. But you can go up right here where you see the H, and you can select what you want the actual height to be. H is for height, W is for width. You can change it to width, and we're going to put the width at 8, but make sure that lock is set so you can keep your actual aspect, or it'll stay where what doesn't skew. So we're going to go over a couple more of these, the interface settings here. So you have the basic cut, which is the operation, but you can see you have all of these different ways to cut here, or what you're cutting. So we're just going to keep it at basic cut. You have a selection method here. You have an edit method here. You have an offset method here. I don't necessarily use this offset method, but we're going to show you how this works. So select the object. We're going to move it a little from the edge so you can see the offset here. I think this is, that's fine. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. So go back to offset, and now you see when you apply the offset, it'll have where now you have an offset, essentially like a border around what is actually going to be cut. So you can have two different layers. You can have one cut in one color and then one cut in another color. So now you have like if you want to say an offset or a 3D effect or a border around your actual image. We're going to delete that for now, but again, you can see how to do that. You can also, if you do have those layers, you can arrange them. So again, you can build up different layers and then cut different layers so you can arrange them later on, you know, when you are cutting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on Make It. Actually, right before we click on Make It, let's do this. So let me make sure everything is good here. Okay, so one thing I want to show you before we click on Make It, because it looks like it's still, the project is entitled right now. We're going to go ahead and save this, how you save your project. So save, and then we're going to name this project. So we're going to name this project God Got Me. And this is just, again, one of those things I like to do. Make sure my files are saved correctly, named correctly, just in case. You don't want a folder or a computer full of untitled files. Become a Patreon today and support this community and support this channel. You might be asking, why would I want to do that? Well, one of the reasons is we are creating coding camps and tech camps for kids, and a lot of the Patreon dollars will go towards setting up those coding and tech camps with equipment and all of the things that are necessary to teach younger generations how to do some of the digital media techniques that we teach here at Digital Realm. So with that being said, your Patreon dollars will go towards scholarships for certain members of the Digital Realm community. So with that being said, make sure you get your membership, but at the same time, become a Patreon if you're not really interested in becoming a member just yet. Let's go. So with that being said, we're gonna go through some of these settings. Or templates. Templates are very, very important actually. Templates is going to allow you to visualize what you're going to put your graphic on, which is always going to be a shirt, but you can see all of these different options like clocks, accessories, machines, desserts, doors, flip-flops, jeans, luggage, pajamas. I mean, list goes on and on, all the different objects you can use as templates. And you might be asking yourself, why would I want to use a template? Like, what's the purpose of a template? Essentially, just how we kind of guessed how large the shirt should be or the design should be, you can actually visualize it by, let's click on the shirt, but you can visualize it by clicking on the shirt. So now you can see what it would look like on a shirt, or roughly what it would look like on a shirt, if that makes sense. This won't be printed. This is just giving you a guideline for your design. So we're going to go to our upload and we're going to grab our design here and we're going to add it to canvas. Now when we drag our handles, if you want to scale your window up so you can see, hit the little magnifier. But again, drag your handles. So now you get a better view of how it will look on a shirt. And then you can toggle the settings as far as the scale. So it looks like we're around, like, for height, again, you see it's unlocked, make sure you lock that. So again, the height, we're gonna round this off or give it something that's a little more, not 0.0001, but something that's a little more realistic, and put it on the shirt. So 9 inches high. I'm gonna make it bigger than that, think. And again, you can, this is all preference here, but now you have a better gauge on how it will look on your shirt. I really want this to be a big, bold look on the shirt. So again, you wanna scale it up to around where that size would be. And a good rule of thumb is, again, round your numbers off, because when it comes to cutting, it'll allow you to, cut your actual material to the correct size a little easier. Right? So we have it at 10 inches wide, which that's the default I like to go with, is 10 inches wide. It feels like it's like right at the collarbone and it goes straight down. So I like 10 inches wide, but again, depending on the designer or who it's for, you might have a different preference. But 10 inches wide is kind of what I like to go with. So here's are some of the options, like you can see, like projects that give you inspiration. Projects that are like, cards, tote bags, hats, shapes here. You can hit the shapes. We're going to go through all of these little options. Images. You can find images that you can pretty much just right away start cutting and have a design. So again, you don't have to design it yourself. You can do text. You can have your font they provide for you. Or if you have, they provide for you. Or if you have your system fonts that you probably bought, you can actually apply those as well. So let's just grab a quick one real quick. One of these. And these are all the same fonts that you would have on your system when you're designing these. So again, you can use these same fonts within the actual software program. So just like that, you can type out text in a specific font that you choose, right? We're going to go ahead and delete that. I think y'all get the point. You have phrases, so you can just use this as inspiration, like, okay, what kind of phrases I might want to do, or what kind of designs I'm thinking of. Again, if you're not the super creative person, or even if you are a creative person, you can use that as inspiration. Monograms again being like your initials, like how you can do designs for your initials. The main thing I think of this for is like if you're doing like cups or something like that, and you want to do somebody's initials, you know, on a cup or something like that. A monogram is a great option for that. So we're gonna zoom back out, but you can see our design is here. Once you like it, hit make it. All right, it's trying to give us a little guide through here. We got it. So we have a mat with our Cricut that's a 12 by 24. Make sure your settings are set. One thing I like to do with the design is definitely give a little buffer around the edges. So about a 1-inch buffer around the edges, so I know what to cut my material. See, if we're at 13, I might cut my material at 15. Make sure you mirror your design. I can't emphasize that enough. Mirror your design. Make sure your design is mirrored. I'm gonna say it one more time. Make sure your design is mirrored, because when you do heat press this onto your shirt, it will be the correct way if you mirror the design. Once you got it where you want, hit continue. No device found. And if you have that problem, remember you have to plug in that USB. So plug in the USB, it'll show your device. Now you go into your settings. So we're gonna choose premium vinyl. These are some of the favorites that I've selected, but we're gonna do premium vinyl here. And if you don't have these settings, you go to popular and just like browse materials. As you can see, browse all materials on the right, but select the ones that you work with. Pressure, I like to keep it at more, just to make sure the cut goes all the way through. It looks like everything is good to go. The Cricut button is flashing on my machine. So when that's done, starts to flash, you're ready to start printing. So you're gonna hit that Cricut button, and you'll pretty much start to communicate with the actual software. So now you can see it's cutting. And as we speed through, once it's done, you'll get a check mark and it's good to go. So you're ready to heat press. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more, go to digitalrealm.com and become a member today. With your membership, you get access to our course library. We have all different types of digital media content creation topics that you can cover and learn for yourself. Very beginner friendly, just like this video. So with that being said, go to digitalrealm.com and get your membership today. And don't forget, join our Discord community at the link below. You can get access to a lot of topics and discussions about these videos just like this from members of the Creator Camp. So with that being said, hopefully I'll see you in the Discord community in the link below. Let's go.